What's good, Liberators? Fingers here, this is DX2 Demon Review, and today we are talking about Hallel the Lesser. And by that I mean the Seraph, Flauros Hallel. Flauros, who was once one of the fallen with his angelic power restored by God. He is ranked as one of the Seraph, who in Paradise Lost by John Milton were considered as equals to the four archangels. The fallen angel Flauros is listed as the 64th spirit and is a great duke of hell with 36 legions of demons under his command. It is said that within the magic triangle from which he is summoned, he will gladly tell the tale of how the angels fell, and will even protect his summoner from the temptations of other demons if ordered to do so. So he may be tough to wrangle, but once you do, Flauros Hallel can be a serious bro. As for the stats, he is primarily a magic caster, decent magic, 205, but you can pump that up, as is tradition, with me, Thomas. Also halfway decent vitality, 172, and you can similarly pump that up, as is needed. He's a long-form battle kind of guy. I think that's where he really shines, so having that healthy vitality on him would not go unappreciated. And I slapped the last 10 in luck, but you can throw the last 10 anywhere you so choose. Play around with his agility a little bit. If you're running him on a team and you need him to bump up the turn order as is appropriate, he knows some things, which is useless in 2022, and repels light. So make a note of that. As for the skills, the transferable Enduring Soul of the Plus, 500 HP as soon as he receives a killing blow, pops right back up, still useful in 2022 despite Sega's best effort to give every gacha exclusive demon the ability to cut through indoors, but still, they are quite valuable in the PvP arena. For his first unique skill, the Halo of Hallel adds Light Pierce, very nice, activates the chain effect, enters a state of Lydia at the beginning of own turn, and gains 1 boost level. Okay, very cool. Like I said, long form guy, comes pre-built with Lydia, just popping off all day, every day. Basically, he will always have Lydia on him, no matter what. And pretty much your whole team will have Lydia on them, no matter what, once this guy gets going. So that is pretty cool. And again, insanely useful for Kiwamis, boss battles, and the like. PvP, not as much. Your mileage is going to vary in PvP, but for the PvE content, he is S tier all the way. Boost level 1 gives Null Curse. Nice. Makes sure the Lydia can't be stopped, so that's kind of cool, but okay. Boost level 2, now things are getting spicy. Lydia will target all party members. Exceptionally useful, especially once he gets going. You'll pretty much have boost level 3 by your second turn in any fight, given that it pops up a boost level every turn that goes on, and it also boosts up when you use his unique skill. So all you really have to do is pop that unique skill off, and he's good to go on turn 2. As for boost level 3, activates the chain effect, increases attack, defense, evasion, and accuracy of all party members by 20% for 1 turn at the beginning of own turn. So not only does he give you a party-wide Lydia just for being alive, he gives you the party-wide Luster Candy every turn just for standing there, which is fantastic, and again, just terrific for those Kiwamis, those boss battles. You can do a whole lot worse than the Flauros Hallels. Chain effect activation is dependent on boost level before start of own turn, so all the boosts you acquire during a turn don't kick in until the next turn, so be aware of that going in. As for his second unique skill, Baptisma, inflicts light magic damage, power 170, single enemy. Okay, not bad, power 170. Damage from the skill ignores all death prevention skills. Okay, interesting. And enemies down by this skill will not be able to revive. Again, very interesting. They tried to make him PvP viable, but okay, we'll get into that. And gains 1 boost level for Halo of Hallel if the attack is successful. So if you go turn 1 and he pops this off twice, on second turn you'll have boost level 3 and all of his magic things will be popping off. You'll be good to go, counting the boost level +1 you get from the first turn just naturally. So Mazel Tov. Plus 20% to damage dealt using this skill if you level it up to the max MP cost -1. That crucial MP cost -1 for PvP, though. Here's the thing about him in PvP. He is situationally good at best. I mean, magic in PvP is a tough sell for me because unless you're exposing that weakness, it's going to cost you a full press turn to cast. Unless you've got it set up so you've got a physical demon critting and your magic demon is going on that second turn, on that half press turn. Otherwise, you're going to have a rough time with it. And unless you're picking your targets and you see a team with, for example, Angra on it, who has a very notable light weakness, you can bring him in there and just delete him. Same thing with Undead Alice, for example. You can bring him up and baptisma her into oblivion, and that would be very effective. But unless you've got that weakness that you're looking to exploit, I would not recommend him for a random team because it's just too unreliable. You're not gonna be seeing those light weaknesses all that much. Most demons being run today have 0 weaknesses whatsoever, which is why physical demons are so gosh darn effective, because they can exploit half press turns no matter whose you are. So PvE S tier. PvP, I'll give him a B. I won't go too harsh on him. I got him in the Origami archetype for Mohammedan, the most powerful, transferable, light sweep skill, light magic damage, all enemies, power 120. Not bad. He is great for Ultraworld light farming, assuming you have him in Origami. You can also make him play quite well in Demopocalypse, if you're doing the light Demopocalypse. I would specifically put him on the boss wave because his luster candy skill will pop off and you will have at least 2 rounds with that luster candy effect on you in that regard. So that's fan-freaking-tastic, and it's so hard to get the Terrakaja up on that boss wave because your demon's got to have a skill that both attacks and gives you the buff at the same time, and those skills are exceptionally rare even today. But you could also throw him in if your light demons are just so heavy hitting that they outclass Flauros Hallel. You can also throw him in the mob wave if you got him in Origami with this light sweep skill. As for transferables, I've got him with Auto Terrakaja because I had used him for farming light Ultraworld, and this certainly helps zip that process along. And to no one's surprise, light boost, but you know the usual suspects you can throw on here: light amp, light enhancement, etc., etc. One thing you might want to consider, if you are running him in Sloth 12, the Lucifer Brands of Sin, he has a notable light weakness, and he will paralyze and charm you at the beginning of a fight. Not really a problem if you bring Daisujo or anyone who knows ailments and then can wipe him clean off you. No problem. But if he is bound at the beginning of the turn, it means his Lydia and Luster Candy effect will not pop off. His chain effect won't work. Bind is the only thing that can shut down a chain effect. If your demon is charmed, no matter what, if the situation to which the chain effect applies is supposed to go off, it'll still go off even if you're charmed or muted or any of that stuff, except for bind. Bind shuts that nonsense right down. So you might want to consider no bind for him if you're using him for that purpose. I personally do not, because I tried. I tried to make a light magic focused team for Sloth 12, and it was just infinitely slower and just inferior to a physical team that just wrecks them, with critical hits, takes it down in one round. I tried to make it work. I could not find anything nearly as effective as a physical team for Sloth 12. And it seems that Flauros Hallel, that was one of the things seemed like he would be perfect for. Like Wave Battle, he's got the chain effect that charges up. By the time you get to Lucifer, he's all charged up, ready to go. It seemed like a perfect fit, but it just was outclassed by the physical speedster team. What can I say? As for brands, spell brands, divine brands, magic casting brands, you know how to brand. I don't need to tell you. Baptisma only costs 5 MP when you've got this thing leveled up, so spell brands are probably a real good bet, even if you're doing long form fights. Well, if you're doing long form fights, divine brand, spell brand, hey, up to you. 5 MP, you can make an argument either way, whatever the case may be for you and yours. As for the panels, panel 1, minus 30% to light and dark damage received, making him exceptional for farming light Altar World if that is your want. Other than that, this skill really has no application whatsoever. Panel 2 activates the following chain effect. When this demon downs a demon, recovers 2 MP. Okay, it's okay, I guess, in a way. You give him, say you're in PvP, right? You give him spell brands, comes around to his turn, you go turn 1, he's got 5 MP to start with. He uses his Baptisma, boom, knocks an enemy right out of the sky, gains 2 MP back. He can double tap that first turn with this second panel, assuming, of course, that he's able to put down whatever demon he's targeting, and since his Baptisma cuts through Enduring Souls, there's a good prospect for that. So hey, that's something interesting to think about. Far less useful in practice, just because, oh boy, we're seeing demons with 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 HP these days, and now they've got Bulwark, that weapons grade bullshit skill, Bulwark, popping up everywhere now. Get used to that, because that seems like it's gonna be a staple of these new demons going forward. So I just don't think he has the skill to be just one-shotting demons like someone like Astaroth does, par exemple. And for panel 3, plus 20% to light damage. Okay, fantastic. And plus 20% to HP. Works with his long-form stalwart nature. But overall, I would rate these panels as kind of meh. Very, just basic. Basic. Just a little meh. I could use something a little, just a little more spicy. So before we wrap it up, check out these other archetypes and see if there's anything I have been missing in my life from these archetypes. The Origami Muhammadan, which we discussed. For the Protector, the ever-effective Concentrate. Interested in Concentrate, next magic attack damage increases by 125%, 150% if Templar Dragon happens to be your DX2. So 5 MP cost, since it's in the archetype slot, costs the same amount as Baptisma, so no excuse not to, concentrate, blast. This would be great for longer form battles. Just, he's doing extra damage, He's doing upwards of 50% extra damage over two turns, doing 50% extra damage for doing the same thing. So, hey, perfectly viable, especially if you're just having him be a PvE kind of guy, coming in for those boss battles, those Kiwamis where he really shines. Yeah, bueno, I'll give this a thumbs up. Hey, why not? For the Psychic archetype, Null Charm, yeah, that's a road you could go down. If you're running him in Brands of Sin, Lucifer 12, Sloth 12, I should say. Lucifer's team binds you up, charms you up automatically. So you give him no bind as a transferable, and he knows charm here. You don't got to worry about it. Assuming everyone else in your team has no bind and no charm. So hey, if the rest of your team does, and you're trying to set up that team so you don't even need to bring someone who clears ailments, this is a thing. And other than that, I can't see any reason why you would do this. If you're concerned about ailments, you're bringing Daisujo, you're bringing Maria, you're bringing people who make ailments a non-issue, and you're using a press turn or a half press turn to wipe those away. It's just the cleanest, most efficient, most reliable way to handle such a situation. So, a rare hard pass on the Psychic archetype. And for the Elementalist, Repel Electric. Interesting choice. He also repels light, so if you're sitting him next to Aravaka or Demiurge or Alilat, he will have 2 of the elements covered, electricity and light. So that is an interesting thing to think about. Fantastic. And that's all I got for this Hallel, that while not up to the legendary status of his brother, and who also has a higher grade ranking than OC Hallel, by the by. He's 91, right? Pretty sure. Grade. There's a yes. OC Hallel is a grade of 90. Flauros Hallel has the grade of 91. Truly, we live in clown world, liberators. Have a good one. Don't get captured.